It always begins in a simple way. A boy meets a girl. They talk. They smile. Something feels special. The boy thinks, finally, she sees me. Finally, someone understands who I am. But the truth is different. She does not really see him. She sees what she hopes he could be. This is the first illusion. And this illusion is powerful. When a woman looks at a man, she often does not see his real life, his real habits, his real weaknesses. She looks through him and builds an image inside her mind. That image is not the real man. That image is a dream. The man feels happy because he thinks he has been chosen. He thinks, she picked me. But what if the truth is that she picked her idea of him? What if she is only in love with the picture she painted in her own heart? This happens again and again. In schools, in colleges, in workplaces, in villages, in cities. A woman meets a man, and inside her, a small fire begins. She sees not only who he is today, but who she believes he might become tomorrow. Stronger. Richer. Wiser. More successful. More perfect. And the man? He does not notice this trick. He feels lucky. He feels proud. He feels special. But he does not know. He is not loved for who he is. He is loved for the role he can play in her mind. Long ago, a man named Marcus Thorne studied this. He spent his whole life trying to understand the secret patterns of the human mind. And he gave a warning. Be careful. What you think is love may only be projection. Projection means a person puts their own dream onto someone else. Instead of seeing the real person, they see their own fantasy. This is why so many men get confused. They ask, why did she leave me? I gave her everything. But she was never with the real man. She was with the dream man. And when the dream ended, so did the relationship. This is the beginning of the story. It is not about blame. It is not about anger. It is about seeing the truth. Because if you do not see this truth, you will live your whole life as an actor in someone else's play. You will keep wearing masks. You will keep changing your lines. And you will keep wondering why you are never enough. Marcus Thorne's warning is simple. If you do not wake up, the illusion will control your life. Many men believe they are special when a woman chooses them. They think, out of all the men, she picked me. I must be different. I must be better. But is it true? Did she really choose you? Or did she choose her own picture of you? This is the question most men never ask. Think about it. When a woman meets you, she does not only see your face or hear your words. She begins to imagine. She imagines how strong you could become. She imagines the future you might give her. She imagines the story she wants to live, and you become the actor inside that story. At first, you feel happy. Her eyes shine when she looks at you. She smiles when you talk. You feel like the hero in her life. But slowly, you begin to notice something strange. When you make mistakes, she becomes upset, not because the mistake is big, but because it breaks the picture in her mind. When you do not act the way she imagined, she grows cold. When you show your weakness, her love starts to fade. And you wonder, what happened? Did I change? Did I do something wrong? The truth is harder. You did not change. You only stopped fitting the dream she created. Marcus Thorne explained this long ago. He said that many women, without knowing it, project their inner image onto men. This inner image is not about you. It is about them. It is about their hidden hopes, their secret fears, their unspoken needs. And when you no longer match that hidden picture, they replace you. Not the story. Not the dream. Only the actor. This is why many men feel shocked when love ends. They think, she betrayed me. But she did not betray you. She betrayed her own dream. She realized you were not the man she invented in her mind. So the question is, were you ever truly chosen? Or were you simply borrowed? Borrowed to play a role until the script changed. And here is the painful part, most men accept this role. They try harder. They work more. They bend, they change, they hide their true selves, all to keep the fantasy alive. But the more you change for her, the less of you remains. Marcus Thorne's warning echoes here. If you live as her dream, you will forget your own soul. A man who forgets himself is not loved. He is only used. Marcus Thorne spent many years studying the deep mind. He found that every man and every woman carries an inner image. For women, this image is called the animus, their inner man. This inner man is not the same as a real man. It is an invisible voice, a hidden force, a picture that lives inside her soul. Sometimes, this animus is wise. It helps her see truth. It gives her courage. But if it is immature, broken, or unchecked, it becomes a tyrant. And when the animus becomes a tyrant, it controls her without her knowing. She will begin to chase men who are dangerous, exciting, and full of mystery, even if those men hurt her. She will argue without reason, act without balance, and demand without care. She will speak with false authority, as if her words are the final truth. The scariest part? Most women do not even know this is happening. They believe they are free. They believe they are choosing wisely. But inside, the tyrant is pulling the strings. Marcus Thorne called this a kind of possession. Not possession by ghosts or spirits, but possession by the unconscious mind. The woman thinks she is acting by choice, but in reality, she is acting from the shadow inside her. And what about men? Men fall for it. They mistake desire for love. They think, she really sees me, when in truth, she only sees the animus. This is why many men feel confused and broken. One day she says, "You are different, you are special." The next day, she looks at you like a stranger. You feel betrayed, but you never understood, you were only filling a role. Marcus warned that until a woman faces her animus, she cannot truly love a man for who he is. She will always project the inner image outward. And until a man learns to see this projection, he will remain trapped in her play, acting as a puppet, waiting to be replaced. The lesson is clear. You cannot fight the animus for her. You cannot save her from her own shadow. But you can save yourself. By seeing the truth. By refusing to become the mask she creates. Marcus Thorne said it best. The man who knows himself cannot be controlled by another's dream. The tyrant within her may try to rule. But the man who is awake, who stands in his own soul, will not bow to a shadow. If the signs are so clear, why do men keep falling into the same trap? Why do they keep giving their hearts, their time, and even their souls to women who only see them as characters in a dream? The answer is simple, but painful. Men are raised to seek validation. From the time a boy is young, he learns that approval means safety. When he does something good, his parents smile. When he obeys, teachers reward him. When he performs, the world claps. Slowly, he begins to believe that his value comes from the outside, not from within. So when he grows older, he carries this same hunger. But now, instead of parents or teachers, he seeks validation from women. Her smile becomes his reward. Her attention becomes his prize. Her love becomes his proof that he matters. This is why many men confuse being chosen with being understood. They believe her desire means she knows them. But desire is not knowledge. They believe her attention means she values their soul. But attention is not truth. Marcus Thorne warned men about this. He said that as long as a man's worth depends on approval, he will never be free. He will shape himself into whatever he thinks will keep her happy. He will bend, perform, and wear masks just to stay wanted. But the cost is heavy. Every time you change yourself for approval, you lose a piece of your true self. Every time you hide your weakness to keep her fantasy alive, you bury your soul deeper. And in the end, you no longer know who you really are. Women can feel this. They sense when a man has no backbone. At first, they may enjoy the control. But soon, the attraction fades. Why? Because the feminine spirit is not drawn to obedience. It is drawn to strength, mystery, and presence. The more you try to please, the faster she grows bored. The more predictable you become, the less she feels alive with you. And here lies the cruel cycle. You think giving more will save the love. But giving more only kills it faster. Marcus Thorne's voice is clear. The man who chases approval will always be replaced. The man who stands in truth can never be ignored. The trap is not her. The trap is your own need for validation. Until you face that hunger, until you learn to stand without applause, you will keep falling. Again and again. Marcus Thorne gave men a hard truth. If you want to be free from illusions, you must walk the path of individuation. What does this mean? It means becoming whole within yourself. Not depending on approval. Not building your worth from someone else's eyes. But facing your own soul, no matter how painful. Most men never begin this journey. Why? Because it is lonely. It is hard. It forces you to look at the parts of yourself you would rather hide. The weak part. The insecure part. The broken part. Individuation is not about becoming rich or powerful. It is not about winning women or gaining status. It is about knowing yourself so deeply that no projection can control you. Marcus Thorne said that this journey feels like dying before you die. Why? Because the false versions of you must burn away. The masks you wear to be accepted, the roles you play to be loved, the lies you tell yourself just to feel safe, all of them must fall. At first, this feels terrifying. You feel empty, alone, and unseen. The voice in your head whispers, "You are nothing without her. You cannot survive without love. You will be forgotten." But if you stay on the path, something new is born. A man who no longer fears being alone. A man who no longer bends for approval. A man who no longer needs to perform. This is the individuated man. And here is the paradox. When you no longer chase love, love begins to find you. When you no longer need to be chosen, women start to notice you in a different way. They sense your strength, your rootedness, your presence. But this time, you are not chosen for a role. You are respected for who you are. Marcus warned that this path will not make you popular. Society fears the man who is whole. People will call you distant, arrogant, or cold. But the truth is simple, you have become untouchable. You are no longer a puppet in someone else's dream. You are the author of your own story. Individuation does not give comfort. It gives freedom. And freedom is worth more than any illusion of love. Marcus Thorne's challenge is this. Do not wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Fully. Fearlessly. Relentlessly. Because only then will you be a man who cannot be replaced. Most relationships are not real. They are performances. The man plays a role. The woman plays a role. Both wear masks and call it love. But real love, the kind Marcus Thorne spoke about, is rare. It happens only when both man and woman stop projecting, stop pretending, and meet each other without masks. What does that look like? It is not a woman who says, "You are my everything. Without you, I am nothing." It is not a man who says, "I will do anything just to keep you." Those are words of desperation, not truth. Real love is quieter, simpler. It is a woman who has faced her own animus. She no longer chases a dream man. She no longer uses you to fill her emptiness. She has done her own work. She has met her own shadow. So when she stands before you, she does not need you to be her savior. She does not need you to perform. She does not need you to carry her soul. She stands whole in herself. And because she is whole, she can finally see you as you are. And you, if you have walked the path of individuation, you stand whole too. You do not bend, you do not perform, you do not act. You simply are. When two whole people meet, something rare happens. There is no clinging, no desperation, no hidden script. There is only truth. This kind of love is not born from need. It is born from freedom. Freedom to stay. Freedom to leave. Freedom to walk together without fear. Most people will never know this love. They will quit before they reach it. They will settle for the mask, for the role, for the fantasy. Because truth feels too heavy, too raw. But for the few who dare, this love is possible. It is not loud, but it is strong. It is not perfect, but it is real. Marcus Thorne said, "The man who no longer needs to be chosen is the man who can finally choose." And in that choice, love becomes something different. Not a game. Not a performance. Not a projection. But two souls standing side by side. Not complete because of each other, but complete with each other. This is love without masks. This is love worth waiting for. Marcus Thorne gave men a warning, not a comfort. He said that if you do not face yourself, you will always live as a slave to projections. You will become whatever others want you to be. You will wear masks until you forget your own face. And this is the tragedy of modern men. Not that women leave them. Not that society rejects them. But that men betray themselves first. They give up their truth for approval. They give up their strength for comfort. They give up their soul for a role. Marcus called this the greatest form of self-betrayal. Most men think they are victims. They say, women are manipulative. Women are shallow. Women use us. But Marcus asked a harder question. Why did you allow it? Why did you offer yourself as the actor in her play? The truth is sharp. You are not a victim. You are a volunteer. You chose to be blind because it was easier than seeing yourself. You chose to perform because it was safer than standing alone. You chose the mask because the truth of your own emptiness was too heavy to face. But here is the hope, the choice can change. You can stop blaming. You can stop hiding. You can stop waiting for someone to complete you. Marcus Thorne's challenge is simple but brutal. Begin the work of individuation. Sit in silence. Face your shadow. Learn who you are when no one is watching. Burn away the false versions until only the real man remains. Yes, it will be lonely. Yes, people will mock you. Yes, women who still live in fantasy will call you distant, cold, or hard. But remember, freedom is never welcomed by those who live in chains. And if you keep walking, if you refuse to quit, one day you will stand in a place few men ever reach. A place where you no longer need to be chosen. A place where love, if it comes, is real. A place where you are no longer a puppet in someone else's dream, but the author of your own life. Marcus Thorne said it best. The man who chooses himself cannot be controlled by illusion. He becomes untouchable. So here is the final warning. Do not wait. Do not waste your life playing roles. Do not die wearing a mask. Choose yourself. Stand in truth. Live free. Because in the end, that is the only life worth living. So now we reach the end. You have walked with Marcus Thorne through illusions, projections, loneliness, and truth. But the journey is not about listening. The journey is about doing. Every man faces a choice. You can go back to sleep, live as you always have, play the same roles, wear the same masks, and hope for love that will never be real. Or you can begin the work. The hard work. The inner work. Marcus Thorne made it clear. No one can walk this path for you. Not your friends. Not your family. Not even the woman you dream of. This road is yours alone. So here is the challenge. Tonight, when the noise fades, sit in silence. Put away your phone. Close the door. And ask yourself, who am I without the mask? Who am I when no one is watching? Do not lie to yourself. Do not run from the emptiness. Face it. That emptiness is the door. That pain is the teacher. Most men will turn away. They will distract themselves. They will chase pleasure, comfort, or fantasy. But if you can endure the silence, if you can sit with your own soul, something new will begin to grow inside you. Strength. Clarity. Freedom. This is not the easy road. It is the road of fire. The road where false versions of you burn away. But on the other side, there is something no illusion can give, peace. Real peace. The peace of a man who knows himself. And here is the truth, once you choose yourself fully, life changes. Women feel it. People sense it. The world sees it. You no longer need to chase. You no longer need to prove. You no longer need to beg. Because you have become whole. Marcus Thorne's final words echo here. Do not wait for the world to choose you. Do not wait for her to choose you. Choose yourself. And in that choice, you become free. So here is your task. Do not just watch this video and forget. Take one step tonight. Write down your mask. Write down the lies you live by. And burn them, literally or in your heart. Then begin again, as the real man you are meant to be. This is your chance. This is your call. This is your life. Choose yourself. Live free. And never look back.